Hi all, Big Country here with Big Country Survival. Gotta get a pinch in, rub a snuff. Well, rubbing my half nicotine, 50% strength, whatever, fully loaded tobacco free chew. I'm weaning myself off, working on getting myself to zero nicotine. But anyway, that has nothing to do with what I was going to talk about. This is VR to the Delaware Patriot. And he did a video on the Civil War, the coming Civil War, lack thereof. And I thought I'd do a VR to it. He said, maybe people do the VR. Well, here's my VR to it. And I'm going to give you a basic overlay of it. Hopefully keep on track. But basically, everyone got hyped up about a civil war and saying, "Oh, well, we're close to a civil war. We're close. It's just like it was in the first Civil War, in our first the Civil War in the 1860s. Blah 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 blah. All right, everyone freaked out about that." His thing was, no, we're not. And, we're divided right now as a nation, but we're nowhere near Civil War levels, like pre-Civil War levels. Could it happen? Yeah. Are we there yet? No. Are we close there? No. Are we divided as a nation? Absolutely. Right? Absolutely, positively. We are divided as a nation. Things are being polarized, and we're going to kind of get off into my take on all this now. Yeah, we're divided as a nation. Why are we divided as a nation? A lot of it has to do with media hype. I'm going to be honest with you. The mainstream media is hyping this all up. It's like they're doing this whole Kavanaugh thing, and everyone's so polarized, and they're hyping it up like, these evil conservatives did this, and, and then you got your conservatives, and they're saying, well, no, this is looking awful fishy, to put this information out right, the day before. Excuse me. It's just all a mess, right? I think the powers to be want a civil war. Or if not a civil war, they want us as divided as possible. We know they definitely at least want us divided. Whether anyone's actually trying to get a war started or not, that is another discussion entirely. But they definitely want to divide us. And me, I don't care if you come from farther back in the woods than I do, or if you're the guy from, Miami or wherever, and, with the Bob Marley or the Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, and the dreadlocks and all of that. Um, I don't care, right? I've got some brothers. I've served with some good guys um, who had a lot darker suntan than I did. All right, they had God's suntan. I mean, I've and they were some of the best guys that I've worked with. Guys that we did not agree on much. Um, there was a lot of that. A lot of it that we just really didn't agree on a whole lot. Um, and this is aside from the color thing. Because really, color that ain't nothing. Color, hair color, eye color, that don't mean jack squat. You got good people and bad people, and that just there's some real dirtbag black guys out there. There's some real dirtbag white guys out there, real dirtbag Asians, and all of this. And there's also really good guys in all of them. Okay, um, that's the reason I don't get on Gab.ai a whole lot, is because there's a lot of that neo-Nazi bullcrap. That's the thing with a completely open free speech platform, is everybody's got a voice, including those yahoos. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is we've all got a lot more in common than we think. This liberal conservative thing, okay, we disagree on a lot. All right, a lot. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. There's a lot of stuff. Like, there's in my blood family some pretty out there individuals. Some pretty leftist, liberal individuals. In my wife's family, there's some of those crazies out there too. All right. As a general rule, we can sit there and have a conversation. We talk about what we got in common. All right. But I keep an open front porch policy. This is just me. This is, big country here. All right. My front porch is open to to a lot of people. I mean, I don't turn, you've got to do something pretty bad for me to turn you away from my front porch. And I truly believe that one of the best ways to fix this country is for all of us to get together with someone that we disagree with, sit down on the front porch, and have a cup of coffee together, or a glass of tea, or a beer. It's coffee. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. I tell people all the time. I say, you want to talk about something, I'll have a pot of coffee. Give me a holler. I'll have a pot of coffee on by the time you get here. If you want cream and sugar in your coffee, bring your own, because I don't have any. You'll be stuck with milk and sugar. But if you want cream and sugar, bring your own. That's my only stipulation. I'll sit down and have a cup of coffee with anybody, and we'll just sit down and hash it out. And I enjoy doing that. I really do. I enjoy sitting and having a conversation with someone I disagree with, as long as we can keep everything civil. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know what? Because when it all comes down to it, and this is just my opinion, liberals, conservatives, whatever, whatever flavor you want, we're not all that different. we can all agree on certain things. Your elites like to divide us and make it seem like, all conservatives are these evil, you know, Nazis that, want to kill all black children and all of this. That's how they like to paint us as, these evil people that don't value ethnic minorities. Man, on Chip, I had more in common with a lot of guys. I had a lot in common with guys that were from other nations. It's like I served with guys from Armenia and Burma and just all over the place. Korea. Guys, they were American citizens. South Africa. There's actually a funny story I'll tell one of these days about this guy I was in boot camp with from South Africa. But I've always, I get along with people from different places. It's like I'm about as constitutional conservative as they come. I really am. I am. I'm trying to think of. All right, I'm strict constitutional conservative. We'll leave it at that. I'm pretty far on that spectrum. But I'm not this evil maniac. That hates children. I'm not the media narrative. And then you got these people that say that all these liberals are all evil. Evil people that want communism, and they're all communists or whatever. No, they're not. They're not all communists. They're not all, these heartless individuals that, they're not. There are those on both sides, right? There are those on both sides of the aisle. And we'd be kidding ourselves to deem otherwise. But you want to fix this country? Let's all get together with a cup of coffee and hash it out. Be respectful, hash it out, and whether we change each other's minds or not, that's not the point. The point's to come away with a better understanding of who your brother is. If we can all come together that we're Americans first. We're Americans first, and all the other stuff is just details. Okay? And I would say, if I would go over to New York, and I would find a liberal, just pick a random liberal off the street, and then I would go to the middle of bum nowhere, Kansas, and find a conservative, and I'd set them in the room. And when they'd start talking, trying to figure out where they got, what they've got in common. I would say they probably are both going to agree, okay, it's bad to kill children. We want to do what's best for the children. School shooters are evil and sadistic, and it's terrible what happens. Genocide is bad. We could all come to terms and agree on these sorts of things, right? We just disagree on how to accomplish that, how to fix that. And we disagree very, very, we really disagree, okay? Very strongly. We're far out there, right? We're way far apart, but we can come together, and once we can approach the issues from that perspective, then we can get somewhere. So that's how we bring this country back together. is going out and talking to someone. Don't try and get in an argument. Try to have a conversation. That's how we fix this country. That's how we bring us back together. You remember after 9/11, we were really divided before 9/11, and I'm not going to get into the conspiracy crap. I don't want to hear it. I don't care who did it, what. I don't care. For the sake of this video. Point is, it happened. And you know what I remember? I remember Americans of every race, color, creed, orientation, whatever. Americans coming together, standing arm in arm, rushing towards the danger, trying to save life, trying to protect their fellow Americans, helping their fellow Americans. People put together drives, with bottled water and sack lunches for people doing the rescue efforts. That's the America I remember after 9/11. We came together. I remember us coming together because we remembered what was really important, and that was our fellow Americans. So we just need to be able to put all the politics aside and come together as Americans and hash it out, talk it out. We all probably have our own 9/11 story. Everyone who was alive at that time, and I was still in school when it happened. But I know I wanted to hurry up and be 18 so I could enlist. But that's my take on it, y'all. And like I said, y'all go check out the Delaware Patriot. Like I said, a link to the video. This is a VR2. Will be in the description below. Anyway, so hope you liked it. Till next time, this is Big Country Survival. I'm signing out, and God bless.